say yes. All right, see, I love being in the midst of guys. Music is essential to our lives and our community, especially when you're only a woman. Our struggles, our joy, our faith, our celebrations, we were brought from Africa with music. It's a genesis of America's music, and we didn't even know that we were doing it. For example, my grandmother used to play all of the hymns. We had an organ in the house, and she used to always play all of her songs on the black keys. And me and my brother used to laugh. Grandma's music sounds like Chinese music. She's playing Pass Me Not, and it sounds like Chinese music. You know, folks from the South are very smart. They say things like, if the mountain was smooth, you couldn't climb it. Think about it. Ever heard of Negro spirituals? Not hymns, but Negro spirituals. All right, later on I discovered that all Negro spirituals were based on 5 notes. The 5 black notes on the piano, same ones my grandmother used to play. Willis, could you give us a demonstration of what those 5 notes sound like? And give us the next octave. One more time, next octave. 5 notes. And when I mentioned this to Rodney, that all Negro spirituals can be sung on 5 notes, Rodney, you ain't never studied music. He gave me that expression. He didn't say it, but he looked like I beg to differ. So Willis had to demonstrate, because Willis has seen this YouTube where I got this idea from. Every Time I Feel the Spirit is a very familiar song, right? I said, Rodney, play Swing Low, Sweet Chariot on the black notes. Isn't that sweet? Oh, you can go and play the rest of it, huh? Great jazz musician. Knows the spirituals. Beautiful. Trying to get out of Dodge. These were signal songs. Hey. And it's Steal Away. Steal Away. Willis. Steal away, huh? 5 notes. Steal Away. Black folks. You had to prove it to me. I get to the whole thing on 5 notes. The slaves came to America with what's called the pentatonic scale. They didn't call it that, but that's what it was. The pathos of Negro spirituals are written on the pentatonic scale. Now, most of the folks from the East, that includes the Middle East and Asia and Africa, their music sounds like that. My grandmother's Chinese sounding music, she was playing on the pentatonic scale, and she didn't even know it. All right, y'all play that little, we've got a very familiar melody that's coming up in a few seconds. There are black spirituals, and then there are white spirituals. Yes? Well, the most famous white spiritual can be played on the black notes, and it sounds like this. What that song is. He was a captain of a slave ship. He was a sailor. Keep playing that melody because I think I'm feeling my help coming. He was a sailor, a cusser, and a person who despised religious folks. He became captain of one of those slave ships that brought 6 million black people, Africans, to the New World. One of his journeys was marred by a terrible storm, and everybody on that ship was lost, including the slaves who were chained together like sardines under a hull of the ship. Newton was saved and later converted, and later became a minister and abolitionist and fought against slavery, but that's his story. But the story for me in this is the melody that was sung under the hull of that ship had to be sung. by folks who knew what the pentatonic scale was about. On those 5 notes, that moan that sounds like a West African sorrow chant was born from a longing of home. That moan was born beneath the slave ship, and it rose throughout the air. It was a moan. And if you go to the Library of Congress in Washington, D.C., and wherever you can see the parchment of Amazing Grace authentically written, it will say, words by John Newton, melody unknown. Long before the words came to John Newton, I can hear the moans of my foreparents singing it this way. While picking cotton, we took that pentatonic scale out in the hot sun and we stretched it. We stretched those notes until they turned blue. We had a little rhythm going on as we were out in the